Hello everybody, Lorenz Dean here on behalf of Don Devine Media, and this is another Coliseum Culture Throwback with none other than Bushwhacker Luke. Luke and I had a chance to speak on how it is to speak your mind to Vince McMahon privately versus publicly, and he brought up a certain couple of wrestlers, namely the Killer Bees, Jesse the Body Ventura, Hulk Hogan, and Roddy Piper. Here's what he had to say. And at the end of this video, don't forget, subscribe to Don Devine on YouTube and comment below. Thank you.
Now, going back to a little bit to Vince McMahon, even though we're sure, and it's been noted, he's had a lot of people wanting to, kissing his ass. Do you think Vince McMahon is really appreciate people kissing his ass? Because I've heard stories like, if you want to kind of get in good with Vince, you don't really kiss his ass. He appreciates when you stand up to him.
Yeah, people are shit on him, and that he's taking care of them.
Oh, wow.
You know, not shit on him, but you know.
No, but
yeah, you know what I'm talking
They spoke
about.
their mind. They spoke their mind.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay.
No, not in public. Not in public.
Right,
privately,
right.
But privately to him. If in public, you speak your mind to him in public, you're gone.
Has there ever been, do you have any stories of anybody that actually had done that, like spoken their mind?
No,
and
I've never seen anyone, but I've heard things. Well, there you are, the bees. The bees, Brunzel and...
Jumping Jim Brunzel and B. Brian Blair.
Yeah, B. Brian
Blair. Yep.
Brian brought up being having a, what's it called now? What's the school? Why are these schools out? They're all under union.
Okay.
What's it called? What's it called? A union? Yeah, he bought that up. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And for insurance and all that sort of stuff. And 2 weeks later, he bought that up in a meeting. When Vince called for a meeting with all the boys, and he was gone within 2 weeks.
Oh wow.
Things like that. Things like that happen.
So he was actually trying to start a union, and then with him trying to start a union, But let me ask you, he wasn't the first. Well, then he wasn't the first person, and even though he got the same result, but I think Jesse the Body Ventura was the first one that actually tried to get a union involved.
He bought that up too. But Jesse was fired and then bought back, and then fired. But Jesse was, Brian Blair was a worker, but Jesse was different. He was talent. He was on another level.
Right.
Vince knew this guy could talk, and he had a size. He had a look. That he could make some money with him. You know what I mean? So I think he fired him, then brought him back, and
I know he came back for a SummerSlam gimmick as a special guest referee, I believe.
Yeah, and then he fired him again or whatever, or got rid of him, and then Jesse sued him for merchandise. For voiceovers on all, doing commentary and all that.
For the NBC, yes, because that's when they was trying to strike a deal with NBC, and they wanted Jesse the Body Ventura to be part of it, and Jesse was not there, and I guess they was trying to crack a deal without Jesse.
Yeah, but on all the tapes he did the voiceovers, he did commentary. He did commentary, right? And,
correct.
And all those tapes. These were the tapes, not USA Network. This was NBC, ABC, CBS, all the affiliated stations that he, before they went solely on USA Network. He was doing voiceovers, and he wanted royalties.
Right.
So he sued Vince on that. And then since then, Vince, and then he got money. He got money, and then since then, he won the case. Since then, Vince has bought him back.
Oh wow, that's
That was
yeah, the guys
that was in the early 90s.
right, right. Oh wow, you could definitely say they had a love-hate relationship going on there. But all right. And so, who was? Now, can I ask you something? Did Vince have his inner circle type of, no pun intended, to the AEW? But did he have his little group there as far as back in the 80s and stuff like that? His the people that he associated himself with off camera. Who was his people as far as the wrestlers?
Oh well, he had his little guy. Hulk was his man.
Of course, that we know.
Hulk was his man, and of course Piper was for a while. But Piper pulled out and wanted to do movies, and I think Piper left and did a movie without Vince. Vince didn't really want him to go and do it, I think, and I don't know the full story here, but he went and did it, but he came back, but that wasn't a WWE movie, you know what I mean?
Right. I got you.
And so Vince did a movie with Hulk at WWE. That was one of his first movies.
Right. That you talking about the No Holds Barred?
Yes.
Right.
God bless him. And Tiny
Zeus. Yes.
He passed away. He was a hell of a guy.